Diamonds, they say, are the sweat of God as he created the world. These are the barren lands, the frozen wastes, the badlands of the far north. The Canadian Shield is a vast plate of ancient rock. Huge glaciers have worn it down to the bone. Winter here lasts for 8 months. In February, the thermometer plunges to way below 30 degrees Celsius. In November and December, the sun rises at 10 in the morning, and by 3 in the afternoon, it's already the dead of night. The storms that roll down from the pole are relentless. To survive in this desert of ice is almost impossible. Nobody lives here in these barren lands. The entire Northwest Territories are almost a third of the size of the United States, yet have a population of no more than 43,000. It has long been known, though, that this desolate region is a gigantic and fabulous treasure chest. There's gold here, and silver, copper, zinc, platinum. But nobody ever dreamed there'd be diamonds. And then, in the summer of '91, the cry rang out through the far north. Diamonds! There were diamonds under the ice. Magnificent ones, so limpid and transparent, they could drive any jeweler in the world mad with envy, and there were lots of them. But they were a long way away, almost beyond reach. It'd be a gigantic struggle to mine them. There were 2 open pit mines at Diavik. It was time to go underground and continue to mine the diamonds. And there were diamonds there in the chimneys of the old volcanoes, down 600 meters below ground level. They started off with open pit mining. Only the top part of the kimberlite pipes can be mined this way. To get the rest, they had to go underground. They used traditional mining techniques, digging successive galleries until they reached the volcanic rock known as kimberlite.
We're 100 meters down in a 110-meter shaft in the drilling cabin. We're drilling holes in the kimberlite for the dynamite, for the diamonds.
Kimberlite is a brittle volcanic rock, so for safety reasons, there's a metal grate in place to hold the roof up and prevent any rockfall. A series of holes are drilled in the gallery floor. Explosive charges are placed in each of them and set off. The explosions blow through the floor to the gallery below. The ore is gathered up by a loader and transferred into special trucks that haul it out of the mine. Traffic underground is a difficult business. Each vehicle is in permanent communication by PC radio with a traffic control center. The galleries may be spacious, but there's no room for two trucks to pass each other. The loaded truck always has priority. The unloaded one has to pull over and give way in a lay-by dug into the rock wall. At the end of the summer, tunneling begins in the second Diavik mine kimberlite pipe, the A418.
I'm standing at the bottom of the A418 pit. It's over 200 meters below the ground surface, and above us is some of the strongest and oldest rock in all the world. And around us and on the ground is kimberlite. This is kimberlite, and it could contain diamonds.
By the end of June, the ice has all gone from the lakes, and the whole landscape looks different. 55 million years ago, there were huge trees growing here and giant ferns. But a series of immensely powerful volcanic eruptions turned it all into an inferno. When the eruptions ended, the lava all solidified, and within it, diamonds. Of the 5,000 kimberlite pipes discovered in the world, only 23 contain diamonds worth mining.
The diamond deposits here at Diavik were all initially underwater, so these dikes had to be built to pump out the water, provide access to the kimberlite deposits, and enable open-cast mining to get at the diamonds themselves. When the mining's all done, the clock will be turned back, the water will be let back in, the dikes all broken up, and it will all become a lake once again.
Leon Willier is 45 years old. He's been a driver at Diavik for more than 10 years. He drives one of the giant trucks that haul the kimberlite from the pits. Leon is from the indigenous Tlicho nation, one of the first peoples to dwell between the Great Slave Lake to the south and the Great Bear Lake to the north.
You've got to be very careful going down the ramp. Don't lose control of the vehicle. It's a steep slope and it's long. A vehicle like this doesn't stop easily.
There are many indigenous people working the mines. There are almost 300 of them at Diavik, a quarter of the total manpower. Before development began, the mining companies signed agreements with the indigenous peoples who owned the hunting and fishing rights for the territories in question. You have to be a highly qualified driver to drive a 218-ton truck. The equipment's all supersized here. Training and jobs are part of Diavik's community commitments, as well as respect for the environment and the payment of royalties to the various communities.
The kimberlite is loaded down in the pits. You have to be careful bringing it up. You mustn't lose your load on the way. It has to get to where it's going. You can't just spread $1 million cargo all over the road. I don't know what'd happen if you did.
The kimberlite is delivered to the hilltop treatment plant a few hundred meters from the mine shafts. It is tipped into a chute where a series of conveyor belts carry it through a whole chain of processes. Nobody ever touches the kimberlite. The whole procedure is entirely automated. The plant processes up to 2 million tons of ore every year. No chemicals are used to extract the diamonds from the kimberlite, simply the fact that they are denser than ordinary stones. The kimberlite is broken up, sieved, and washed. The diamonds are located by X-ray and extracted by an automatic compressed air system. They leave the mine untouched by human hand.
This is the last stage in the processing plant. From here, it goes to the Yellowknife facility to where it gets separated for market.
The quality of a diamond depends on its transparency, the absence of impurities, and its color. The batches of diamonds from Diavik are evaluated at Yellowknife, and this evaluation will determine the amount of royalties to be paid to the Canadian government. The diamonds are shared out between the mine's associates. 40% go to Harry Winston and 60% to Rio Tinto. Feasibility studies are underway for another open pit at Diavik.
Our challenge is to find diamonds. Diamonds in an area at least the size of Europe. It's very difficult because diamonds are only maybe 1 centimeter if it's a big one, or 2 centimeters if it's a huge one. My name is Lou Cavello. I'm a prospector. I've been prospecting in the Canadian Shield for more than 40 years. I'm in this business is because I enjoy it so much. It is a terrific environment to work in. There's no better place that you could be to work. You get to work outside a lot. You get to physically challenge yourself, mentally challenge yourself, and you get to do it for a long time. It's like a detective job in that you're looking for something. You don't even know if it's there, but it might be there, and if it is there, does the approach you're using, is it a valid approach? Will it be successful? You never know until you actually find it. If you don't find it, it doesn't mean that it's not there.
To be a prospector, you have to buy a state permit. It's not very expensive. Then you need to buy a claim. In other words, the exclusive prospecting rights on a parcel of 1,000 hectares of land. That's not very expensive either. What is very costly indeed is getting both people and equipment out to such inaccessible spots. It takes time, a lot of effort, and a lot of disappointments. In the old days, prospectors used to disappear into the bush for months on end, with nothing but a radio to keep in touch with the world. A bad fall, an accidental wound, or a run-in with a grumpy bear could all spell real trouble.
To my mind, the key to prospecting is the input of human intellectual capital. All of the commodities that we consume now in the world are, for practical purposes, inexhaustible. The Earth's crust is essentially inexhaustible. And the only limitations we have on discovering these commodities is our ingenuity, our ability to think about this and apply new technologies, new ideas, new inspirations to the problem.
Today's prospectors may be less exposed, but they're every bit as adventurous and just as pugnacious.
We always take the long shot when it comes to geological information, trying to be optimists about the chances of discovering something or knowing that something could be out of sight, that is at depth beyond what you can see immediately. So in that sense, we're the ultimate gamblers.